Let's get into it.
Hi, Craig. Can you hear me okay?
Hi, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear, all good. Where you
Hi.
from, Craig?
We're here in Northern California.
Oh, nice, good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, just before we get started, I'll just quickly explain how I think we can best serve you today. So yeah, the first thing, we're just going to see if we can help, first of all, help you acquire more clients. And then we do that just by bringing in high quality leads who'll easily convert into appointments directly into your calendar. So that's the main objective, to see if we can actually help, first of all. And then, yeah, if that's the case and we can help you acquire more clients, then, yeah, I'll give a full breakdown of how it works, answer any questions, pricing, all that kind of stuff. Is that all cool with you?
Awesome. That sounds good to me, Jaden. And figured I'd let you know as well. I've got my dad here. His name's Mike, and he's the owner of our firm.
Awesome. How you doing, Mike? He's here as well, yeah? You can hear me?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Perfect. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Good stuff. Cool. So do you just want to get
One micro adjustment there, Jaden. Whenever someone asks you how you're doing, be full of enthusiasm. So instead of saying not too bad, be like, oh, I'm fantastic.
Okay.
That energy is like infectious and contagious, and you want them to also feel good. So always, if someone asks you how you're doing, you always, oh yeah, I'm doing fantastically well. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah. Okay.
get started then, Craig? And Mike,
Sorry, Jaden?
Should I have, I think one mistake I think I've made is not being like, oh, I can't see you, trying to prompt them to turn the camera on, right?
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Yes, exactly. Just be like, I can't seem to see. My favorite one is, I can't seem to see you guys. I'm not sure if it's just on my end, and you look kind of confused,
Okay.
like as if you're like
Yeah.
looking around the screen. You know?
After I realized I felt like it was too late, but well, it wasn't. But yeah, I should have.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Give me a brief overview of the main reason you joined this call today.
Yes, so we are looking to get some new clients to talk to. Right now, we're not doing any marketing. Over the years, I've been in business for about doing my own thing as an looking to.
Awesome. That sounds good to me, Jaden. And figured I'd let you know as well. I've got my dad here. His name's Mike, and he's the owner of our firm.
Awesome. How you doing, Mike? He's here as well, yeah? You can hear me?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Perfect. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Good stuff. Cool. So do you just want to get started then, Craig? And Mike, just give me a brief overview of the main reason you joined this call today.
Yes, so we are looking to get some new clients to talk to. Right now, we're not doing any marketing. Over the years, I've been in business for about doing my own thing as an advisor for about 15 years. And over the years, we've done seminars and done some Facebook, LinkedIn stuff. But since over the last couple of years, we really haven't been marketing at all. Just, some referrals and just kind of sitting on the assets under management that we have, the clients that we have. But now we're looking to get some new clients on board and grow our assets under management. We're a smaller firm. It's just Craig and I. We've got a couple back office people that help us. But
Jaden, do me a favor. Move that red pillow out of the shot, like right now, or both of them. I think that's better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
So it's not like we need, or at this point can handle even 20 new appointments a week, and it's we like quality over quantity, and really just a nice flow of 4 or 5 new appointments a week. That adds up over if you're consistently actually meeting with 4 or 5 clients a week new. After a little while, you got a lot of stuff in the pipeline and whatnot. So we're not a big firm that needs 20 appointments a week. And Craig and I have both been through a lot of the videos that Ash has put out, and I believe in some of the numbers that he runs through. He's using an ad spend of $1,000 a month, and the numbers are 20 to 30, let's say, appointments a month, and so that would be a little heavy for us. We'd probably go down to like 500 a month of ad spend, and that would probably be fine in terms of the number of appointments.
Okay, so you mentioned you wanted quality over quantity.
Good, very good. That's what I was looking to see you do there. Is are you going to summarize or go back on what he said? So that's really good.
What does quality look like for you?
Fantastic question, Jaden. Good job.
So, unfortunately, I know one of the videos we were watching with Ash, he kind of stopped it and kind of did a mid video clip, and he goes, "Hey, just FYI, TikTok has really come on board. They're much more cost effective than Facebook. So we'll get back to the video, but just know we're focusing on TikTok ads and strategies as well." So I don't have experience with TikTok, but a lot of the things I've done over the years on Facebook, and they weren't using were kind of quick funnels that just like would hit a topic and shoot a run through to me. And so in looking at your videos, I think it's a little slower process of warming them up and making sure the right person comes through the funnel. So I'm hoping that's the case. But the ones I've used in the past are kind of more quick hit, boom, so I'm talking to somebody pretty quick. And they were ones where it was like, hey, literally I had some programs where it was like, we could have, 10 leads tomorrow for you, right? That kind of thing on Facebook. And those type of leads were like, oh my goodness. It was like, I had to shut down those programs like immediately because I've been talking to people, they didn't even know why they clicked on it. They didn't, like, it was just like spin my wheels, talk to 10 people to get one person who is even in the ballpark of, having money to invest.
Yeah. Okay. And is there a certain?
Okay. There, what you should have done is dug for the pain created as a result of that problem. So to us, it's obvious, and to him as well. You may think it's obvious to him, but you want to get him to verbalize that. So you want to say, yeah, that makes absolute sense. So essentially, what you're saying, Mr. Prospect, is that you were generating lots of leads, but they really weren't of high quality, and as a result of that, not only were you spending money or wasting money on ads, but you were also probably wasting your time, right? Which is ultimately the most important thing, because you have to speak to these people, realize they're not qualified, and then you spend a bunch of time for nothing, basically, right? And then you'd be like, yeah, exactly. So in those moments there, that's like the perfect tee up. He's giving you the perfect opportunity to you can show your understanding and your experience in the industry, because he's like, yeah, Jaden gets it. And those little micro moments is when they really feel connected to you, and also it really elevates your status because it shows you've been around the block. You know what you're talking about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do feel like that's the biggest thing missing from this call is the digging. I wish I'd have dug more. I think that's why I was most disappointed at it. But yeah. At least I'm.
Let's keep going.
Amount of assets, certain value that you look for in a quality lead.
Yes, and so unfortunately, like if somebody has like under 300,000 of assets, I'm the type of person that like when I've had clients like that, right? And so at the end of the day, I'm like, how much of this can you actually invest? Well, you can't invest the whole 300,000, right? You're 60 years old, you got 300,000 in your bank. It's like, man, you better keep a big chunk of that in the bank and not put it in the market, because 300,000 is not that much in today's day, and you don't want to risk it. So I'm pretty conservative on that standpoint. So I would say they'd have to have $500,000 of assets, to their name, so that at least we could say, yeah, 200 grand, we could comfortably go invest for you, or 300 grand, but you can't put all your money in the market. So I think like $500,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, I have $500,000 of assets, or 200-300K worth of investable assets, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, just to go to your point there as well. In terms of ad spend, so generally appointments will cost our clients about $200 to $300. That's the general range. We do have, of course, plenty of clients that are targeting very similar to you, around $500K mark, which will be at the higher end, at the higher end of that scale. So generally, $500 a month is generally enough to actually run ads in order for us to get the best performance. Because we've got a Facebook, say when you run on your Facebook pixel.
Did you say 500 a month?
He mentioned an ad spend of $500 a month, but it's not enough.
Did
So
did you say? I swear I heard you say that it is enough, or did you say it's not?
no. So he said a bit earlier. I let him carry on talking, and then I brought it back up. I listened to a call with Ash where someone did the exact same thing. They said they wanted to spend $500, but anything less than $2,000 isn't enough data for us
Yeah.
to actually be active. So I just made it aware there.
Okay. I swear I heard you say 500 is enough, but you said 500 is not enough.
Not enough to actually be minimum two grand we need.
We recommend around two to $3,000 a month worth of ad spend, especially if you want to get multiple appointments per week, just to make it worth it and make sure that you're getting your money's worth basically and getting a return.
So, the average, if let's just say it's going to run $300 for me to get an appointment, and if I wanted, 5 appointments, or just for example, in a month, then I'd have to spend $1,500 in ad spend.
Yeah, exactly.
These are micro things, Jaden. Okay. Do you have a different pen?
No, but I can get one.
Buy yourself a nice. Hang on, I'll text you a picture right now. I know these kind of things seem silly, but subconsciously they make a big difference to the prospect. Hang on. Look what I just sent you on WhatsApp.
Okay.
That'll cost you about 15 quid. Well, I don't know in Thailand how much, but like nothing. And just subconsciously, it just gives off a different impression. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so one thing, since COVID hit, we really have been working remotely. I have access to offices and can meet clients at locations, but we've really been pretty remote, like home office. If I need to see a client, I will. That's not a problem. But doing everything kind of remotely, how does that work with your program?
Doing everything remotely in what sense?
Like
Good question.
really not going face to face much, right? So, and like a lot of my clients I've had it since COVID have been, referrals, my current clients, just kind of the flow of being in business for a while. I haven't been marketing to like I've never met before in my life, and they're gonna bring, 3, 4, 500,000 investable assets over to me. Are the leads that are generated, are they comfortable working with somebody that they might not even, I could meet them, but potentially they do business without, going face to face?
Yeah, absolutely. People are a lot more comfortable now committing to services, working with people just from meeting them over video call. Nearly all of our clients are doing video call meetings just like this. And in terms of the actual process, we do a lot to build credibility in you by the time that they actually join there. So it's not like, you're just a random person they're seeing for the first time. We make sure the same process which brought you onto this call, that they follow through, they'll watch a video, and they'll have a good understanding of you, your services, and who you are. So yeah, generally it's not an issue. We've got people who are working statewide, nationwide. So it's not an issue if you can't meet in person. But of course, if you want to do that.
Okay. Good answer. Very, very good. You're making them feel comfortable. You're like, look, that's no problem for us. That's how we do it normally. Fantastic. What I would have done there, Jaden, is slapped what I call a positive label on him. So what I would have said is everything you said, that is literally perfect what you said. And then I would have added this on top, okay? I'd have been like, and Mr. Prospect, by the way, it makes me super confident that you're going to get fantastic results when you say that you have been operating virtually via Zoom over the past few years since COVID, because it means you're familiar with the process. You know what you're going to be doing straight away off the bat. And that, again, is going to give me confidence that you're actually going to be able to take these leads in these meetings and convert them into clients in the most efficient way possible. So I would have slapped a positive label on him, okay? But apart from that, your response was really, really good. It was just, as an addition, you could have done the label, okay?
You can as well. Where do you guys actually operate?
We are an hour north of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Mhm.
San Francisco. So we're up in Sonoma County.
Okay. But you'd be looking for clients, what, statewide?
Ideally, we can go statewide. That's fine. It's funny. I've done some statewide. I've done some multiple state stuff before. And if you look at the greater Bay Area, let's just call it 20 million people. It's such a huge demographic that if there's just something about it, I've done some multiple state marketing before and really hit off with some clients, and then they're like, yeah, you know, I live in Chicago. If you're in California, I got right down the street. I do this, no thanks, but no thanks. So it's psychological, and I know guys are successful going multiple state, and even, you know, for me, if we did all of California, it's as big as a lot of countries, and I'm okay with that. But there's something about, like, even if somebody's in San Jose, which is 3 hours from us, they're South Bay and I'm North Bay, so I'm about 3 hours from San Jose. But there's something about it where it's like, yeah, we're all Bay Area, we get it. You know, it's like I could get in the car and go see a guy down in San Jose. So, and you got 20 million people to work from in the greater Bay Area.
Oh, okay. Good stuff. Yeah, as long as you've got a large enough demographic there, and yeah, it just means that you're going to get better results, really. So, but yeah, we won't worry about in-person meetings. Like I said, most of the deals are all closed through video call, which is great.
Awesome.
And what was the main reason you decided to kind of change things? I know you've done really well with referrals and all that kind of stuff. And what was the main reason you kind of wanted to implement this and have a consistent flow?
Fantastic question, Jaden. Really, that's brilliant. That's really, really good.
Leads and appointments.
So I like the idea of, you look at all the options. I don't want to go do seminars again. You don't want to go out and, shake hands in the community and join tip groups and, it's a process of elimination. I don't want to do mailers. So, I mean, online social media marketing is clean if it can work.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And
okay. Fantastic question. He gave you a good response. What should you have done there?
Should have verified what he said. I should have got more on board with what he said.
What should you have done then? Give me an example of what you should have done. He's saying, yeah, we don't want to do seminars anymore, etc., etc.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't you want to do seminars anymore?
Exactly. Or what I would have done, this is a moment where you can showcase your expertise. You'd be like, yeah, no, that makes sense. And I've heard that a lot of times before, because probably when you were doing the seminars, they were extremely expensive to run and they really just brought like mediocre results. And apart from that, it was just like a big energy drain, right? Because that's always the problem with seminars. It's always very hit or miss, you know? So
it was a little bit of, I'm thinking in discovery, really, I'm still kind of, whilst I'm on the call and I'm looking for the next question, but that sacrifices some of my attention. And I think some losses there where the best question is based off what they just said, of course. But sometimes if I'm more mentally preparing for my next question, it kind of takes me out of it a bit. So I just try to stay ahead. So I think I need to be a bit more comfortable in the discovery where I'm willing to just completely listen to them before I think of my next question or.
Exactly. And that's totally normal, by the way. I always see this, even with fantastically good and experienced closers in their first few meetings. It's typically like that because you're trying to stay on the script, which is really good. You're respecting the process. But as you get more comfortable with the script and you memorize it more and you just have more of like an intuitive feel for it, you'll be able to dig easily and then also go to your next question. So I don't worry about it because I know you know what to do. It's just these first initial meetings you're going to struggle a bit, but after that, I think you'll be absolutely fine. Okay.
So moving forward then, how much room for growth is there with your current infrastructure? If you were to say have those clients walking through the door, having 4 to 5 appointments in your calendar each week, how much room for growth have you got before you'd have to kind of scale?
Fantastic question again. Really good.
Pretty well set to where we could hand 4 to 5 a week would be too. We could do it actually. So I've got a couple back office guys. So we're pretty set up. I mean, I think we could gear up and run with it without having to bring on somebody type thing. So yeah, I think we're pretty well situated.
Awesome, good stuff. And is there kind of a certain goal that you're working towards, whether it's monetary or?
Yeah.
I would have just done a little there. I'd be like, fantastic. So what you're saying is, if you were to get, several qualified appointments per week, you'd easily be able to close them and take them on, and that wouldn't cause any issues in your business, right? You have the capacity to scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, not 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 really. Just it's I kind when it gets into being too analytical. I mean, obviously, if I've got 10 million of AUM now, so if we could double that in a year and go to 20 million, I mean, it'd be great. Do I, it's just like it comes to that. It's just like I don't spend a lot of time, detailing out. Okay, in the first month I want to have 500,000 of new assets, and then it's like no, just work hard and go and see where it runs. But yeah, like to grow it eventually a lot bigger than what we are currently.
Yeah, awesome. So you want to double the business in the next year? Good stuff. Have you looked at anything else? I know you watched quite a few of Ash's videos. Have you looked at any other solutions to try and get this done?
Yes, a couple of other ones that are similar, but fees that like where.
Jaden, when I mute myself, can you still hear the audio?
Yeah. Oh no, it's just stopped. Yeah.
Okay.
Just stopped.
Let me make sure I share with the actual sound from. Hang on. Let me know if you can hear it now. Hang on.
$2-3 grand a month running the programs, right? And what
Can you hear it?
we like about this program is that Craig can, be involved with it from the get-go and learn the processes so that after 90 days, he can just continue to, run with it and understand, how to keep it going.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're right, especially with those monthly fees. It's not ideal for businesses to actually win because, of course, you've not only got to front your ad spend, which is one thing, but then you're nearly doubling it, depending on how much you're spending, of course, by having to pay out those monthly fees. So you need to succeed a lot more. You need to make sure that you're closing a lot more deals in order to make it make sense.
Yes.
Fantastic. Really good. Really, really good.
But yeah, cool, good stuff. So generally as well, our clients are closing about 25 to 50% of leads that show up. So yeah, these are basically they're qualified, they've gone through a process. So I'll go and explain that all in a little bit, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
So yeah, so from what I've got so far,
You can tell that there's great rapport here because he's even saying sure, thank you. That's when you know you're in good rapport. Really, really good.
the ultimate goal is to get to, you want to double your AUM at the moment, so from 10 million to 20 million. You're done with doing seminars. You've done more than enough of them, yeah. And you're looking for a solution in order to have leads come through, have booked appointments directly into your calendar that you can sit, and then essentially scale up to get to that 20 million goal in the next year. Does that sound about right?
That'd be great. Yes.
Good stuff. Is there anything else that you think is worth mentioning? What do you think?
I think that's kind of it. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Cool. And then, of course, you said you watched Ash's video. You checked out the YouTube as well, did you say?
I think we've seen.
Yeah, we watched a few videos.
A little bit. Yeah, we're pretty familiar with it.
Good stuff. And then, what do you like best about the process? You did also mention that there's no monthly fee, of course. What else was it that kind of drew you to it?
I don't know. I like the.
Jaden, my girlfriend here, who watches some of my sales calls as well, she's like, Lucian, this is really good. she's like, he's doing really well.
Thanks for that.
The multiple approaches where you're doing LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. I think there's advantages to all three, and so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, and how well do you think you understand the process that we go through?
Pretty solid.
So at this point, should I have? I didn't know whether to go through the three pillars, or just ask them, where they stand with it. I think the answer pretty solid was enough for me to go on to questions instead. Should I have just offered him and said, I can go through a brief overview of the process just so we're crystal clear, or do you feel like you've got a solid understanding? Should I have offered it differently to make him? I felt like I pushed him towards saying, yeah, I've got a good understanding. I kind of like made him seem like he should have a good understanding of it.
Sorry, Jaden, I was muted. What I would have done is exactly what you did there. So I would have said, so how well Do you think you understand the process? That's a really good simple question. That's gonna tell you everything. And then when he says pretty solid, what I would have done is dug there a little bit. Be like, I would have just mirrored him. I would have said pretty solid, and then he would have told you the things that he's not solid on. And then what you can do is you can think, okay, do any of the pillars of the pitch give him clarity on what he's a little bit unsure about?
Okay.
And then, for example, pillar number 2 would have given him clarity. Then just deliver pillar number 2 to him, and that's it. But just so you know, that's a fantastic question. I don't even know if I put that in the script. Like, how well do you think you understand the process that we go through? But that's a really good one. Keep that one. That's fantastic.
So generally, as well, our clients are closing about 25 to 50% of leads that show up. So yeah, these are qualified. They've gone through the process.
Why are we so far down? Hang on. Where are we here?
Keep going.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, and is there any specific questions that you've got around it?
No, I think we've got a pretty good base feel for it. Yes.
Perfect. So you understand the process. You kind of know why it works. I guess if you've seen a couple of videos as well, it talks it through really nicely. And is there anything else that you're hoping was involved in it, or anything else that you're hoping we offered, or did that kind of make sense to you?
Yeah. No. I think it's all what you're offering seems reasonable.
Yeah, good stuff. And you said it was you did mention that Craig was going to sort out or go through it. Of course, we've got the done for you system, which is where we build everything out ourselves and get it launched within 30 days. And then we've got the consulting package as well, where it'll give you everything, talk you through all the steps, and then of course you can go through and complete that. It takes about 40 to 60 hours. Which one were you looking at?
Which one do you recommend?
So it depends. I mean, what time-wise? As you mentioned, it was mainly you guys in the business, and you've got a few others. How busy are you at the moment?
We've got the time to.
Sorry, Jin?
A discovery question, because now I'm asking them how much time they've got.
Yeah. To be honest though, it's not with a typical very transactional one call close scenario. You want to have a hard cutoff between discovery and pitch, but here you're kind of in that middle phase still, where you're in consulting mode because he wants to know which is the best option for him. So it's not the end of the world. It's ideally you should have gathered that in the discovery, but it's not the end of the world that you're doing here. Okay.
What's your I'm watching your YouTube channel, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Breakdowns of the videos. I saw the girls one and then that dude as well. They were selling quite similar offers, but the for me, I think the seeing how their mistakes manifest near the end, is like the best way to like really that made it clearer for me than anything of why the process is the way it is. Yeah, you should definitely put. How can you put those in the training? Because once I saw that, I was like, oh, like it just made sense when they were near the end and they asked some questions, things that should have been sorted before. But yeah, those are really good.
So you think I should put those 2 videos as part of the training course?
Yeah, and me and Sandra found those. We were like, this is gold. Like, that's exactly
really?
what.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to put my to-do list. Add YouTube full reviews to training modules. Very good suggestion. Perfect. I might have to take this Zoom recording right now and do the same thing, blur everyone's face, and then add those to the training as well.
We've got time right now, so that's not 100%. That would not be 100% of an issue. Obviously, would you say that it's like better to use you guys? Like, so if Craig goes through the 50 hours it takes to get us up and running, is it just as effective and just as solid as if you guys set it up in the first month? Like, the end product and everything is exactly the same if we do it versus you do it?
Yeah. So essentially, in terms of the done for you package, a lot of the benefits of it, of course, is speed, because we get it done all within 30 days for you. Okay. And we run through, of course, the whole process. Ash will write out your VSL as well, video sales letter. And yeah, we work together on that to get it done. But in terms of the consulting package itself, the results are very similar. So we do have clients that get fairly similar results just by going through the consulting package. It'll take you through step by step exactly what to do and how to get it all set up.
And are most of the clients that are coming on just getting the program and going, or do most
Good answer, by the way. Very good.
of them use you guys?
I'd say most of them do get us to build it, mainly for speed as well, so they can prepare for all these new leads to come in. Even in terms of actually getting it all up and running, if you're not sure whether you'll be able to get it done, then of course if we do the whole process for you, it just means that you've got extra weeks there that you can start actually closing deals. So it usually justifies us doing it all, and it's just another thing off your back there. A lot of clients do start with some of them do start with the consulting package initially, but after going through it and actually, they'll get started in the first 5 hours and they'll say, do you know what, guys, I think it's best you take over, and they'll get us to do it instead and just pay the difference.
So yeah, I'd probably be leaning towards having you guys do it. Will Craig be trained at the end of the program to be able to?
Okay, watch this. I'm going to teach you a ninja level sales trick here. Okay, so he's asking the question. When I pause, Jaden, I'm going to be as if I was in the sales call. Okay, when I pause, I'm going to give what I would say. Okay.
Run it effectively after the 90 days?
Fantastic question, Greg. Just out of interest, would that be of value to you guys? And then he would say, oh yeah, that'd be immensely valuable. And then you hit him with, well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that whoever is trained up and ready to go, so that when we hand over the system to you, you guys can run it by yourselves in the most effective and time effective way possible. So
Yeah,
you get him to say how happy he would be with that, and then you tell him, yes, we can do that.
So instead of yeah, exactly, if they get it right, then that'd be a value.
I would say, really good question. And just out of interest, would that be value to you? And then get him to say how valuable that would be. Get him to say that would be brilliant. And then you hit him with the answer. And then it's literally 10 times more effective, because he's just realized how happy that would make him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, exactly. So one thing to keep in mind with the Done For You package, that also includes the course, the consulting package. Okay, so you get both. So not only would Craig then be able to make another campaign for you guys down the line and set another one up if you're, say, going for something different, targeting a different market, or promoting another service. So yeah, it's both. We set up that campaign for you, and then you've also got the course so you can set up more as well. Okay. In terms of the actual management moving forward, if we are to...
I would have just specified or added the specific benefit to him at the end of your answer. So I'd be like, so that Craig can continue to run it for you, in a hassle-free way.
Let's say when we set it all up for you, okay, we'll get it up and running, and then the maintenance moving forward there, it's only about an hour or two a week, just managing the ads. Okay, so yeah, Craig will get shown exactly what to do and how to do that, and yeah, that's all it takes moving forward.
And I missed one little point. Craig, what was that? Did I miss?
I don't know.
Oh, there was one little point that I thought you thought was a good point that I missed. Okay. So that all sounds good. So he'll be up and running, able to keep it running with a couple hours of work per week, just fine tuning. And then if he wanted to, like, how many? So we have like 4 or 5 different strategies that we would like to, kind of go with eventually. How many? So let's just say one of them is a 401k rollover. We want to kind of market towards people who want to roll over their 401ks and IRAs. And then we have another strategy that we want to go after, that's retirement income planning. So can you help us get in the first, if we're paying you guys to kind of do it, will you set up 2 or 3 different campaigns that we want to try to run concurrently?
Yeah, good question. So yeah, generally clients will start with one campaign to get going. So especially the difference now, you're not currently having weekly appointments. You'll go and aim for your 4 or 5 a week. In terms of setting up a new campaign, we do have multiple, like I said, clients that have different campaigns running. So you've got a few options there. So if you go to us, guys, right, we want to do this 401k, we want to target people, looking to max out 401ks, then we can then go ahead and build you another one, or you'll have the course and everything there step by step for like Craig to go ahead and build that for you. So yeah, you can essentially build as many campaigns as you like. Whether you want us to build the next one, or if you guys want to go ahead and do it, because you'll have everything all we need to do so, then that's completely up to you. But what we recommend is get one up and running, get it going, start getting appointments.
Brilliant. That's what I was looking for, is if you give your recommendation at the end. Really good. So because he already trusts your leadership, so it's really good that you said that at the end. That's pretty good.
Into your calendar, and then yeah, you can go from there.
And so Craig will have the skill set after seeing the one go all the way through to completion, and we're getting leads coming in. He have the skill set to go, since he kind of has seen this whole thing start to finish and is now running it a couple hours with a couple hours. He'd have the skill set to go and start a second campaign where if he hadn't been through that with you guys doing the first campaign, like you said, most people get in a few hours into it and they go, man, I need somebody to kind of guide me on this. But you think he'd have the skill set most likely to do a second one on his own?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to us actually building it, I think one thing we're quite not aligned there is that we do like 95% of the heavy lifting. Okay. So in terms of the campaign, building it from start to finish, we complete out the full process there. Okay. It would just be up to Craig there just to review stuff with us, go back and forth, make sure you guys are happy with it. So there'll be little to no work for you in terms of setting up that first campaign. And in 30 days, we'll have it live and you'll start generating leads, generating appointments, I should say. Okay.
So there, you should have just ended that thing you said there, Jaden, with, and also Craig will have the exact knowledge and skills to then be able to replicate a campaign with a new, like, because what he's looking for there is, once I stop paying you guys, can Craig build another campaign and match the performance of the campaign you're going to deliver to me? So you should have just tied it off of that and said, yes, Craig didn't have absolutely all the skills necessary to be able to create new campaigns for you. You know, even basically once you stop working with us. That's what he was really looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So there'll be little to no work for you in terms of setting up that first campaign, and in 3 days we'll have it live, and you'll start generating leads, generating appointments, I should say. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. Do you what if just you guys work primarily with financial advisors? Is that correct?
Yes, 80% of our customer base are financial advisors.
And okay, thanks. And so you're like, what if, just in your experience working with other financial advisors, what subject, topic?
Just a little note here, Jaden, for you to remember. When you have this level of rapport and admiration from your prospect, you can really lead things and you can push harder when it comes to moving them towards making a decision in the short term. So it's like, at the end, you can push harder with these prospects to get them to buy right now. And you can tell you've got that level of rapport with him because he keeps saying thank you.
Okay, yeah. I think because he did, yeah, we'll see what you think of the ending, but I think I could have got more enough alignment to be like, why not now? So yeah, you'll see soon.
Okay.
For the initial funnels, etc., would you say, hey, if we've seen with our other advisors, if you go with this topic, because we're open to whatever works the best, is there a subject that you would say this one really plays well, and if I was starting with one, I'd start with this one?
Yeah, good question. So yeah, generally the quickest wins and the most successful campaigns usually come from annuities and tax planning. Okay, it's all really to do with the message. I see you've got you've got a book on retirement, right? I checked out on your website.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So I've seen that.
Good that you checked out his website. Very, very good.
Being able to convey a message to the audience that is important, it's urgent, stuff like don't run out of money for retirement, that kind of message always converts really, really well. Helping people plan for retirement, or tax planning, for example, saving people, of course, making things easier for people every month who are paying out a bunch of tax. So yeah, the messaging really is the key part. It's about solving pain. So we always say wherever the most pain is what's best, right? Being able to solve people's pain will always win in business, right? So yeah, in terms of make sure you don't run out of money for retirement, these kind of lines always do really well.
Brilliant. I would have just tied it off there, Jaden, with basically saying to him that because we have so much data, once he goes through the onboarding, we're going to be able to figure out exactly what kind of messaging and angle to take because we've done it 100 times before. But apart from that, your response there, Jaden, is genuinely brilliant because it shows that you know what the hell you're talking about. So that was really, really good.
These kind of lines always do really well.
So in terms of and you might not have this variable nailed down to this level, but in terms of the average asset under management, so the two that you threw out was tax planning and the other is retirement planning. Does one of the or the other have a higher average assets under management the leads that are coming in?
So specifically, it does depend on the campaign. So I can tell you black and white whether annuities or tax generally has the highest AUM. But yeah, it depends who you want to target really. If it is a case of you're looking for people with 500k in assets you can manage, then we can convey a message to those people and make them be the ones that come through the process and end up on a call with you. So it really does matter on what's important to you, and that's what we work with. We work through you guys and see exactly who you're looking for, and then that will be tailored into the process and the kind of people that we'll target.
So that ultimately, Mr. Prospect, we can ensure that the people that you're going to be speaking with are people that you actually want to be speaking with, and that they're the ideal dream clients that you can actually help, so that you're not going to be wasting a single second with someone who doesn't match your specific criteria. So always just try to tie on at the end the ultimate benefit to them. What I always say is you've got to tell the prospect what they want to hear. So give your answer and always tie it off with that to make them feel really good about it.
Yes, and yeah, so I used to do a lot of annuities, and so that though I would sometimes that even though I can start, it doesn't matter. They could come in looking for information on annuities, and then I don't necessarily have to, at the end of the day, I can, talk to them about managing their money, their assets, and look at it all, right? But I tend to think that just because I have a lot of experience on the annuity side, that you're going to get a little bit more of an oddball client that is kicking tires on annuities, and I don't know. I think it might be a little more of a solid client that is looking for tax strategies versus annuities.
Yep. So I mean, it's also to do with your messaging, and really, you did mention you wanted like quality appointments, and that's exactly like what we go for, right? So in the same way that you guys have shown up to this call and you've kind of like seen our videos, you know quite a bit about our background and what we do, it makes the call a lot more straightforward. So we make sure that before someone actually ends up speaking to you, they've gone through your VSL. We always recommend about 6-minute video, filled out a questionnaire as well. So you'll know kind of what service they're looking for, and they'll also be educated in what you guys actually bring to the table and the benefits of what you do. So yeah, it's just about the process that we put them through, really.
Okay. And in terms of scripting that message, you're like interviewing.
Oh, that one I would have handled a bit differently, Jaden. I would have just said, so up here, he's basically saying he would rather prospects looking for tax strategies rather than annuities. I think that's what he's saying, right? And so what I would have done is just clarified that with him. I'd be like, so what you're saying, Craig, is you prefer people who are looking for this instead of that, correct? And like, that's no problem at all because we'll just tailor the messaging to that. And I would have just left it at that. I wouldn't even have talked about anything else.
Yeah, I think I'd kind of missed a bit what he was saying there. So I tried to just play off something generic, but I think
if you ever miss what they're saying, just say, sorry, would you mind just elaborating? I'm not quite catching what you're saying. Like, it's fine. That showing that is not actually a moment of weakness. That shows that you really want to understand them. So if you ever don't understand what they're talking about, just say, sorry, I'm not quite sure. Would you mind just repeating that? That's always better than a generic answer.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of scripting that message, you're like interviewing Greg and I, and then you're actually kind of putting the correct verbiage.
Sorry, can you say that again?
So in terms of actually scripting the messaging that's used in the funnels, and even the messaging that we'll do the video, but we're going to follow a script. All of that scripting and language is you guys are kind of interviewing us, get exactly what we want to do, and then you're going back and kind of writing it. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So the VSL, or video sales letter, it's really, really important, right? So we do we'll work with you, and you'll fill out a questionnaire. We'll go back and forth with yourself or Craig in order to craft a message that's unique to you guys. Informs your leads on what you want them to know by the time they get to the call. But we do use a proven framework. We don't experiment. We're not here to experiment with your ad spend, whatever.
Brilliant, fantastic line. That's really, really good. That's exactly what prospects want to hear. We're not here to fuck about with your ad spend. We're here to actually do it properly. Really good.
We use a framework that already works for a bunch of our other clients. Okay, so it'll have a proven framework that we already know, already converts, but then we'll make it original to you and unique to you guys and your services.
Yes. And okay, that sounds excellent.
That's how you know that you've answered his question perfectly. Because look, now he's saying that sounds excellent. The previous time, look, just said, okay. You see, when you were a bit generic, he's like, okay, okay, next question. But here, where you really hit the nail on the head, he was like, that sounds excellent.
Okay.
Yes. And okay, that sounds excellent. And then in terms of producing the video, are we just doing that off of an iPhone?
Yep. Yeah, iPhone can work. We always say don't go too professional. If it looks too professionally made, then yeah, it can come across a bit too salesy. So we do like something a bit more natural. iPhone is absolutely fine. And then yeah, we help you out with not only writing the script, but yeah, we'll tell you exactly what to say and give you some pointers as well when it comes to actually filming it. So we work alongside with you, but yeah, we do 90% of the heavy lifting there.
Good.
And
Good
then you
answer.
guys can edit it once I get it over to you.
Absolutely, yeah. So you don't even have to edit it. You just film it out. Even if you put extra in there, we can cut it up and yeah, we'll edit it and deliver it straight onto your funnel.
Okay. And then this type of, let's just go with the tax
See, Jaden here,
high net worth individual.
you don't actually need any of the pitch pillars. You just answer his questions in a way that's good and it's creating clarity. This is fantastic.
Would you say TikTok is the best bang for your buck, or LinkedIn or Facebook? Which one do you think most of the ad spend would go towards?
Yeah, so good question. But really, the straight up answer is whatever brings the most results. In
Killer
terms
line.
of
Killer. That's fantastic. This is good.
generally, TikTok ads are cheaper than Facebook ads.
Replace cheaper,
so you can get them
Jaden,
sometimes.
always with more. Actually, no, you don't want to say more cost effective because what you're probably saying here is they're cheaper, but maybe not as effective. That's probably what you get. Ignore what I said.
About half the price. But we can sometimes test multiple. We'll test on multiple platforms, and really, it's just the main thing that matters is getting qualified appointments into your calendar, right? So wherever that works out the best and we get the best results.
Jaden, if you're in front of me, I'd be giving you a high five because these answers are like 10 out of 10. This is how you answer questions. This is really good.
Is that?
And okay, that's perfect. And do you use other mediums outside of those three?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is two types, right? So you've got paid advertisements, which we've already spoken about. Facebook, TikTok, we use there, and Instagram as well as under Meta. Okay, so that's your quickest wins. It's fastest in order to get your bookings and your bookings in. We also have strategies on LinkedIn, which will be auto messaging, and it's a way that you can generate leads without actually having to pay your ad spend. So a bit of both is always great. We do have clients that are running YouTube, they're running YouTube channel, posting regular videos. We can help you with that as well. And that just basically means that you've got an organic way of people coming in and booking an appointment. And yeah, you can get 10 to 30 new appointments every month just through those organic channels. It just takes a little bit longer, but yeah, we would recommend for the best results that you do both.
So on the YouTube channel, there you have to like how often would you have to update like a new video?
Yeah, good question. It really just depends how often you can. We've got clients that work like weekly, they're trying to do a weekly video or every 2 weeks. So really it just depends what kind of results you want. In terms of video quantity, it's good if you get, if you have a good 20, 30 videos out there. But it's something you work towards, and really it's just about what's working best for you guys and what kind of time you've got. But yeah, we help out with what your target audience would be searching and help you give you some ideas on how to actually get that YouTube going. But yeah, as much as you can. I mean, the more the better, really.
I would have downplayed it just at the end. I'd be like, but as long as you have a base of a few really good videos, then that's all you really need initially. Just have some extra credibility, and anything on top of that is just, how do you say, cherry on the cake, basically. Because you don't want to scare him away here. He's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, 30 videos. So I'll just downplay it a bit at the end.
Yeah, I like it's a bonus rather than a real part of the process.
Exactly, because really the real part is Facebook ads to a good funnel and then convert, and that's it.
So the first one that we do kind of, and that's edited for the for the funnel, is that one that you guys can post on YouTube for us?
Yeah, so I mean, it's specifically built for the funnel, that video. But yeah, you can absolutely post that on YouTube as well. But we do recommend just making more content. You can make it very simple, just have a clean setup and just talk about your services and talk about the advantages of taking XYZ actions. So yeah, it's completely up to you guys.
Yeah. And so because I actually am interested in that. So that I think is, but you can kind of help us and get us cooking on that. And we're just going to be prolific and once a week shoot a YouTube video, but or whatever that ends up being. But you guys can kind of get us up and running on that.
Absolutely, yeah. So we can help you with that as well. We'll give you a strategy for organic growth and how to actually, what kind of videos to actually make as well.
Okay, and the leads that come in from the funnel are they going straight onto Calendly?
Yes, exactly. So we use two pieces of software. The first being Kartra, okay, and the second being Calendly. So your funnel will all be built out on Kartra. It'll run alongside your website, and then they'll book directly into Calendly.
Okay, cool.
I would have not said that. I would have said, yeah, they just go straight to Calendly. They don't need to know about the Kartra step. Now, that could create an objection in their mind because they could think it's more complicated than it is. So I would have said, yeah, exactly. They can go straight to your Calendly.
And do you guys do any back office adjustments to our website so that it kind of dovetails into?
Okay, Jaden, I'm going to pause it here because we're going to head out now. But I'm going to take a screenshot of the timestamp. Okay. Let me end this right here. And we will continue reviewing this next time if that's okay with you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for your time, mate.
That's okay. Just overall, Jaden, seriously, that was brilliant. That was like for a first sales call, you should be very, very happy. Really, really good. We'll see how you handled maybe at the end the objections, think about it, all that kind of stuff. But for the moment, genuinely very impressed. Keep doing what you're doing, and I have no doubt you're going to close a bunch of deals.
Yeah. I mean, especially you helping me, mate. I'm committed to be as best as I can on this. So yeah, I really appreciate your feedback.
Fantastic. No problem at all. I'll speak to you soon, Jaden. Okay.
Somebody have a nice time. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you, mate. Take care. Bye bye.